There's not going to be any law in this video. This is a video of my visit to the Douglass-Houghton Falls in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in the middle of the copper country of the Keweenaw. So I will walk you out there, and I brought a camera along so you can see this. Douglass-Houghton Falls are a waterfall that is between Laurium and Lake Linden, not far from Calumet. And they are famous because, among other things, they are the tallest waterfalls in Michigan. From top to bottom, it's about 110 feet. That is a long drop, my friends, and we'll see that in just a second. But first, the interesting thing is this: these falls were on private property for the longest time. And then the state recently bought the property and have said they're going to make a park out of it so people can get back there and see the falls, because for many, many years, you could not see the falls. They were fenced off. And I don't blame the guy who owned the property for doing that, because people were dying out there. And if you run a search on Douglass-Houghton Falls and death, you'll find that a few people in recent years have died out there, but many, many more have over the years, because unfortunately, people want to go and look over the edge and see how far down it is. And then there are also people who were climbing, like rock climbing up and down the falls, and occasionally they would get stuck or hurt as well. So the guy who owned the property for the longest time fenced it off, put up no trespassing signs, which is a crying shame, but again, I understand it. So there's this nice, beautiful walking path in. It's not well marked on the roadside just yet. It says DH Falls on that sign we walked by at the very beginning, but you can find that now, but hopefully in the future they'll have better marks. Nice, beautiful path walking in through the pines here. And as you approach Hamel Creek, you'll start hearing the water rushing, and of course it rushes towards the edge, and then it plummets about 110 feet down. So I did walk around a little bit, trying to get a good clear shot. The best view of the falls is from the bottom looking up, but you cannot get there easily from where I am in this video. You've got to approach from the bottom, and I think it's about a mile hike in, coming up Hamel Creek. But I would much rather do what I did here, and that is a short hike in and then look over the falls. And you can get some good views. So I don't have a whole lot else to say other than, of course, they call them Douglass-Houghton Falls, and sometimes the Houghton Douglass Falls, because they're named after both Douglass-Houghton and his cousin Columbus Christopher Douglass. And Douglass-Houghton's first name is spelled with two S's, Douglass, because it's a family name. And so it's actually named after both those people. So when they do it Douglass-Houghton hyphenate it, you go, wonder why they hyphenate the guy's name. Well, it's two people. So now there's a move to call it the Houghton Douglass Falls, which I don't like as much because they've always been known as the Douglass-Houghton Falls with the hyphen. But again, that's a minor nitpicky punctuational thing. But again, these are the Douglass-Houghton Falls, the tallest in the state of Michigan.